What's up, my Archfiends of Chaos? This is your King Knight Vince Valentine EX Turk with another news thing, and I want to try a new look. And theoretically, it's not too bad. I don't really wear snapbacks, but if you start wearing some, I'd recommend Famous Star Strap. But that's not the point. We're here with some big news, so let's get right to the news. And this time, I hope it's not alternative news. But I think Lady Una pretty much shared something on my timeline, and I wanted to share it with you guys. So, without further ado, I'm gonna actually get into the article if I can find it. So, Final Fantasy XV's Order DLC Explained Episode Ignis. So, that's just the title right now that's shared on Facebook. I usually get my news from Facebook, but again, I really hope this is a reliable source. If this is not a reliable source, then I apologize again. But this is from DualShockers. Comment below if you think this is if DualShockers is a reliable source. Okay, I just want to know. Okay, so let's get to what it is. Final Fantasy XV's Order DLC Order Explained. Episode Ignis will be last due to story impact. Okay, I'll tell you my thoughts in the end, but let's just keep reading. If you're wondering why Episode 15, Episode Ignis will come last among the three bros, Hajime Tabata revealed the reason. When Square Enix announced the release of Final Fantasy XV's DLC Episode Gladiator 3 window for the episode Prompto, were surprised the fact that Episode Ignis was left last. Director Hajime Tabata told DualShockers the reason. Okay, this is definitely a reliable source because Tabata told this news network. So this is reliable news. The DualShockers, the reason why to order episodes dedicated to the three bros during the recent conversation at Square Enix headquarters in Shinjuku, Tokyo. Well, it turns out Episode Gladiola has always been planned first DLC as a team intends to enhance Battlefront gameplay. On the other hand, they have also been debating which among Prompto and Ignis will be second. But ultimately, they have adopted that Ignis is the protagonist of the last bros that will be focused on the DLC. What happens in his episode has a large impact of the story of Final Fantasy XV, and they have the time to create a really solid experience, pretty much keeping it best for last. But if you want to read more, Tabata has revealed the game, which is broken on the release day, is currently used for develop environment to test out the visual fidelity. I think it's fidelity on the top of the 70% staff that's still working on a free paid additional content. Speaking of DLC, Square Enix has showcased a trailer of Episode Gladius at Episode Prompto, and if you want to see something quite intriguing, you can check out the early prototypes on the driver head thing, which you probably have to click a link for that stuff. So, alright, with that, that's just pretty much what the news is right there. But I think there's going to be pretty much a little bit more news why things go up there. I'm going to go ahead and plug my phone up since, I've already used it to read the article. But let's get to the thing right here. I think this will they said this is going to play an integral part of the story. And the reason why I think it's going to, in my thoughts, is that with episode Ignis would make sense to this and tie into the story. Ignis, when you're on the train to get to Tenebrae and stuff like that, Ignis mentions that the Niflheim Empire killed the other six. I mean, he's probably been around or seen the Niflheim Empire kill the other six Astrals. Because if you know, there's actually more summons. Every Final Fantasy game has a large number of summons or gods you can summon in battle. The reason why there's only the ones you see is my theory before I finished the game was really Ifrit killed all of them single-handedly, but I don't think that happened. Ifrit manipulated a lot of events. Remember, he trained Arden and turned Arden into the Star Scourge. So it was both Arden and Ifrit's idea to do all this. So maybe Ignis was part of the Niflheim Empire at one point. Now, and this would explain why he has that British accent. He's either from Tenebrae, which is a kingdom controlled by the Niflheim Empire now, or he could be the or he could have been the Niflheim Emperor's butler. But then he couldn't take what they were doing to people anymore, and this is why I think this is a fan theory. I think what happened is he couldn't take what they were doing no more to the world and people and stuff like that. Because I mean, Ignis is an upright person. He's an upright, so it's like it'd be kind of weird if he didn't do all that stuff. But I think really what it is, what's really going on here, and that's not some screensaver. But what's really going on? What's really going on? I think is that he figured out what they were doing was wrong, and then didn't want to be no part of it. Then the Emperor tried to kill him, and then King Regis saved Ignis. You know, I think King Regis intervened with it, or maybe he didn't mean to Emperor till during Kingslave, but he probably. Probably General Glocka, because General Glocka has more of a problem with has more to do with King Regis than Emperor Aldercap. So, what happened is General Glocka probably tried to kill Ignis the same way he did with Queen Silva, and then, King Regis is probably like, oh no, I can't let another person die by this dude's hands. Enough's enough. He saved Ignis. Then after he saves Ignis's life, Ignis becomes a butler for the Lucius Caelium, and ends up raising Noctis and King Regis's stay. But how does that make any sense, Vincent? Because kings are too busy to raise kids, so they have their butlers do it. So I'm pretty sure the butler that Regis saved a long time ago, and this would have to be a little bit before Kingsglaive, because remember, Ignis is the one who actually raised. What's that? Oh, that's just a little thing. Okay, that's a little paper thing. I'm distracted. But Ignis, this would have to be before Kingsglaive. Ignis raised little Noctis. Okay, he raised little Noctis. So my fan theory on this is, he saved Ignis' life from General Glocka, and maybe this could be the first time General Glocka and King Regis officially met. Not even knowing that General Glocka was actually working under him the whole time. But I said it again, General Glocka and Titus Gerontis are two different people. Go to my fan theory way below, and you'll find that fan theory. It's in the Final Fantasy content or Final Fantasy 15 content. Final Fantasy 15 playlist or Final Fantasy content. It's in there. You're just going to look through a lot of videos, but yes, go watch my Titus Gerontis and General Glocka are different people, because that explains to that. But anyways, yes, this could be the first time Regis meets General Glocka, and Idolus Aldercap probably told Glocka to go kill King Regis earlier on before the events of Kingsglaive, because remember, Emperor Aldercap is afraid and threatened by Regis's power, and that's why he went to Insomnia. Of course, Arden suggested the peace treaty only to disguise it for a I don't know if it's a mutiny, but for a betrayal of the Niflheim's trust toward Insomnia. But nonetheless, he'd still be threatened by Regis's power. Because Regis could have the power to stand up to him, considering at this point Insomnia controls a lot more territories than it did in Kingsglaive. Because if you don't remember, Regis gave the territories out. Now the reason why this is relevant to this episode Ignis, this could go in that backstory that King Regis saved Ignis. Maybe when he saw his failure to save Ravis, Luna Freya, and Queen Silva, this could be at least a couple years after. Maybe Ignis was probably a teenager at the time working under the Emperor, but the Emperor didn't like what Ignis was doing, so he sent General Glocka to go after Ignis, and King Regis is like, oh no, the fuck you think you're gonna do some shit right here, and then King Regis uses Arbinger, beats General Glocka, well, not kills, but because he's still alive in Kingslave, but beats General Glocka pretty badly, and that's why Glocka has a thing against King Regis personally. It increases his hatred toward King Regis, and that's why Kingslave, he kills King Regis, because he probably got defeated once, meaning that they've encountered each other the most. I mean, I'd say Glocka has more of a grudge with King Regis than Idolus, because Idolus only wants power. But this could be the reason why Glocka has a grudge against Regis, because the first time the first time they battled in Tenebrae, they were evenly matched. Second time, King Regis could have got stronger, used Arbinger, and messed up Glocka, and Glocka's infuriated, and that's why the events of Kingslave have the way they do. But nonetheless, this could go in it, because this will explain the train scene when Ignis says the other 6 were killed by the Niflheim Empire. So this does play a huge part in the story. Now, I'm not gonna say this is official, because Square Enix did not coin this yet, did not say anything about this yet. But this is exactly what my theory is, and why they want to keep that the last piece. Ignis has more potency in the story than all 3 brothers did. Now, don't get me wrong, Gladiolus plays a huge part too, because he was raised under Clarus, and Clarus was Regis's bodyguard, just like how Gladiolus is Noctis's bodyguard now, And Prompto plays a good part because Lunafreya forced Prompto and Noctis become friends due to Prompto saving her dog. Plus, Prompto's also part of the Niflheim Empire, which means that Ignis has a lot in common with Prompto. Ignis has a lot in common with Prompto, because Prompto is in the Niflheim Empire. Maybe Ignis knew things, but this is why they want to say this last. Maybe Ignis knew about that, and that's what drove Ignis to quit the Niflheim Empire. They knew that Verstale, implanted MT stuff in his baby son Prompto, and he was like, "Okay, I can't have nothing to do with this." And Idolus as well, like, you know what? You start to have a heart. You're not supposed to be part of the Niflheim. And Idolus would be like, "You're starting to have a heart now? You're not supposed to be part of the Niflheim Empire and have a heart? Glocka, get him! No. The fuck you mean you would have a heart and try to and have morality? We don't do that shit in the Niflheim Empire." Which, that explains, this will also explain why Idolus was extremely pissed. Even though he was already losing his sanity to Pharos. This will explain why Idolus was extremely furious when Ravis turned his back against Idolus. Not only the fact that Ravis was Idolus's favorite soldier, but the fact is, it infuriates him when you start to question his thing, because Ignis was probably the first to do it, and that's what sent Glocka, and then Regis has his second battle with Glocka, and gets beat, and that's why Glocka hates Regis, which will also fill in the story. So I can see why this is going to be the integral part of the story, and why it's saved last. Plus, you gotta figure out some combat system with Ignis, because he plays differently than Gladiolus and Prompto does. So, what are you thinking here? Do you think this news source is legit? Do you think this theory is legit? Let me know in the comments. Don't be biased. Just say what you gotta say. This is no free speech. I'm in the crystal with you.